Hello,
Hello.
how's it going?
Pretty good.
Cool.
What does my view look like? Okay. Yeah. Making sure you can see me.
Yes. Just starting your Monday, right?
No, this is Tuesday.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Mind bending, for sure.
So that's why I opened all those things yesterday because I was working on Monday.
Right, right. Makes sense, makes sense. Huge time zone difference, for sure. Hey, Jason,
Hello,
how's it going?
it's going.
Cool, cool.
Looks like we're gonna have a full conversation today.
Yeah.
Is there some confusion about time zones today?
Uh, it was a little bit. I was Juan was thinking I was yesterday, but I'm actually Tuesday.
Well, but talking about time zone changes, though, there is a time change as of next week,
Oh, you
right?
guys are having your time changes?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, not
Okay. We
me
had
right
we
now,
had
but I
ours.
think in the yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I've seen the JSON Schema meeting like shifting by an hour next week.
yeah, I think Ben mentioned something about time change, but we haven't had it here yet. I think it's next week.
Okay.
Yep. Well, Greg is living in the future anyway, so
We've already had our time change, so what was a 9 o'clock a.m. meeting is now a 10 a.m. meeting. And if you guys so you guys are changing you guys are going back, so that would make it an 11 o'clock meeting for me.
sounds even better. I mean, it's hard, at Postman, like in all the other teams, because we also collaborate a lot with people in Asia, mainly in
Mhm.
India, but now even with people in Tokyo and stuff like that. So for people more like the West Side in the Americas, like me, we usually tend to actually wake up very early for lots of lots of calls.
Yeah. I worked at another company here in Auckland that had some offices in Portland, and
Oh, that sounds
that's still West
huge as
Coast
well.
US. And so I'm used to conversing with people in that time zone. And it's really weird because they're a day behind, but they're also a few hours ahead. So like
Yeah, very
like
odd.
Jason's in his afternoon right now, but I'm still 10 in the morning.
Crazy. How long have you been in Auckland? And where were you actually? You're in New
I
Zealand,
was in
right?
Dallas, and then 7 years ago we moved here.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sounds like fun. Was it
I
for
like it a
work or
lot
more
better
like
here.
family stuff?
Um, kind of. So I have family in Missouri, family in California, um, but I didn't have anything left keeping me in Texas, and my wife wanted to move anyway, and I had an opportunity to move all the way out here, and I had visited before and was like, we should move there, and we had the opportunity,
Nice.
so we took it.
Cool. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's nice out here. It's like San Francisco, but wet.
Huh. Interesting. I see, I
So
see.
So last time we were talking about my spinning JSON logo, and I mentioned that I had 3D printed one.
Yeah.
This isn't quite it. This is the thing that I had 3D printed. It's not quite the JSON logo. It only had for a revolution, it only has a 90-degree turn. So it only has one side. If you were to follow the sides all the way around, like a Mobius strip, it only has one side. Whereas the JSON logo does a 180 twist as it goes around. So it has two sides.
Close
Model.
enough, still. I wonder what's the story of that logo, though. It doesn't look even very JSON-ish.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably something random that somebody chose.
Ben said he was going to be like 5 minutes late. Have we heard from Leader Ben?
Wait, which man?
So we have Benha. He said he was going to be a little late, I think.
Oh, I thought the other Ben said he was going to be late.
Oh, one of them.
Yeah.
I can't even find that message now.
It's in
Well, but the
contributor.
lack of presence, it
okay.
seems both are late.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ben has confused about the daylight savings change because I'm pretty sure he was planning to be here.
I'm messaging him.
Hello.
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 Welcome.
How's it going, Eke?
Pretty good, I guess. How about you?
Yeah, doing great. Thank you. Long time. How's it going for you?
Yeah, it's been a while, yes. Going great, yeah. I joined after I got the ping from Ben, I think. Yeah,
We're still waiting for Ben.
okay.
Both Bens,
Both of them.
right?
I've pinged both of them in Slack. Send a
And
notification.
Julian is also online on Slack. I'm not
Yes.
sure if he's joining. Or maybe we are the ones confused about daylight savings, right?
No, it's specifically on the Pacific time zone.
Yeah. It's defined that way.
All right, I just dropped a message in Slack. So hopefully some people see it. Should we get started without them or give them a chance to?
Yeah, Ige and Juan, do you want to start off with yours, or Jason, do you think we should start with the review of previous meeting and all that fanfare?
I mean, my topic is coming from a long conversation with both Bens, so I think it would make sense to actually have at least one of them.
Okay.
But yeah, again, maybe you can.
And even that one
Um,
is related to the Ben, to community manager Ben.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I can talk about it, or I can join the next one, so it's not a problem. I just joined since I got the ping.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, we can review the past ones if at least, Benja said he's gonna be joining, but he just was gonna be late for a bit. At least we can do a little of the more like routine previous meeting stuff where we make more time.
Yeah. I think maybe we wait maybe a couple more minutes, and if neither of them respond either in Slack or here come up here, maybe we skip today and just push all this to next week, since a lot of it is Ben related.
I just had a look at the notes from the last meeting. Doesn't look like anything that we need to talk about. Looks like the only
Right.
topic there was how do we close the discussion with
Hey, Ben is here.
yeah.
Hey,
Just in time. We're about to give up.
saved us.
There was a change in the summer calendar in Spain, so I was waiting for the next hour, but with your message, Greg, I realized that I mean the meeting was already started. So apologize for everyone, and mostly for Egg, because Egg Corgan, we discussed about I was going to join to defend the topic of the label, the topics, GitHub topics. So I'm so sorry for
No worries, no
not
worries.
being on time. Okay. So did you guys started with the agenda?
Not really.
Okay. So let's go with that. And again, my apologies. I was just watching the TV with my wife, so for me it's 10 p.m. night. So yeah, let's go. And by the way, thank you for the new faces connecting for today's. Egg and Michelle, hello and thank you. I'm going to share my screen. 1 second. More than 1 second. It will be 5 seconds. I'm going to share today's agenda. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
We can.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Before starting today's topics. Let's start with some housekeeping, reviewing together the meeting etiquette. We are going to record this meeting to share it with the community and also in YouTube. But if someone in this meeting is against sharing this video in YouTube, just reach out privately to me and I'll take care of no loading this one to YouTube. But if no one has any comment, I'll upload it by tomorrow. We encourage everyone to challenge any language or behavior that is harmful, not inclusive, or against our code of conduct. We are going to try to remain on mute when other people is speaking and use the Zoom reactions for us for a turn to speak. And with any further ado, this is what we have. First topic will be just very, I mean, the order we can change it. Maybe we can start with your topic, Egg. But anyways, I'm going to review the topics. Create 3 mail accounts for JSON Schema. The reality is that we don't have email boxes as of now. So I think that this seems like a good time to bring this topic again and see if we can agree in some email boxes to create. Second issue, second topic is just something that I'm using to work in some improvements in the contributor journeys. I'll explain later when we go with that topic. Next topic, bring by Ege Korkan, that is here with us today. A cool suggestion regarding curating the topics that are being used by the community for accessing JSON schema topics or issues and repositories. Next topic is from me and is regarding what we discussed some weeks ago regarding deprecating in the future this direction URL. I'm working in a deprecation plan and I'm suggesting if we should create an ADR for make this clear. And finally, a topic by Juan, because of transferring some funds from learn.jsonschema.com, his site, to JSON Schema. We are still on time to add more topics, so if you have something in mind, just add a comment or send me a message and I'll get it added. Any comments so far before jumping into the agenda? Okay. Let's start reviewing very quickly the action items of the past meeting. Let me check. The issue is closed, so there are no pending action items. But the one that we agreed on was after some weeks, maybe months of discussing the pull request for creating a publishing a guest blog post with some controversial suggestions or controversial paper. So we tried to find a common understanding, but finally we agreed on rejecting the blog post. I added the closing comment, and so far the conversation seems closed. So yeah, that's done. I don't know if someone that was part of that discussion have something to add. I tried to be as polite as possible.
How do they take
The
it?
response was quite good.
I mean,
Okay, interesting.
yeah, they replied once, but I mean, I think that I'm happy with what the arguments I use, like not making it seems like we don't want them to speak with our community, or this is like a closed community. My argument was the blog is not the right channel. So the blog is just for content by specific members of the community, like champions, ambassadors, active members, contributors, maintainers, and mostly for publishing. Let me find the PR. Is this one? And the main purpose is promoting JSON Schema. If they want to share different materials with different purposes, what I did is invite them to publish in Slack and in GitHub, so the people can just exchange ideas with them, or just know about the paper. So this is the second reply. No, no, that's it. Okay. Anyways, I invite everyone to take a look. And for today, as I said, we have a lot of topics. I'll suggest change this order and start with the third item, creating a GitHub, creating the GitHub topics for JSON Schema. This is the related issue. Ege Korkan, you are here, so I can explain it, or maybe directly you. For me, this is a great idea, honestly.
I can quickly explain. So, by the way, I'm Ege, and I'm working for Siemens and work on the Web of Things topics, where we also heavily use JSON Schema. And yeah, so when I wanted to quickly use this topics feature of GitHub or explore page, I can, basically. So if somebody searches for JSON Schema, you can go to this topics area and find all the popular repositories, and they're generally sorted by star. But like you see on the right here, improve this page, since it's not curated, nothing really shows up. You can basically put like a landing page there, and it's basically putting an MD file and figure, like a PNG. So yeah, then you just create it to a specific GitHub repository. And yeah, so the only discussion I think here is whether there should be only one, and we sort of nudge people to one topic, or should we do both of them? Or we do both, but still nudge people towards one. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can do both, and on one of them you can provide a link and saying, we suggest you to use this topic instead, right?
Well, first of all, I totally agree in going forward and updating the topics as soon as possible before someone else take them. And I think it's interesting know what other things about what is the, we will curate both, but what is, in everyone's opinion, the one that the people is using the most? JSON schema or JSON / schema. So we are not going to choose, but I'm curious about what do you think about what is the main preference. Maybe we can see the numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
numbers
so
are
The one with the
listed. If you go to
hyphen,
the topic,
it's a lot more popular.
yeah, if you go to the topic, it says the number of repositories matching the topic, and with the hyphen is about 8 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could, put some details in. So actually, this is really good. So thank you for highlighting that. And we're going to use the GitHub topics at a later point in time to do some specific interactions and put in some specific data, particularly for implementations and specific types of ecosystem projects. So yeah, this is actually really useful.
Yeah. Also, as a side note, if companies also own a GitLab instance, it also supports this feature. So you can ask companies to use it if they also have this kind of ecosystems. Like we have it in Siemens, and we will also follow this kind of direction.
Well, that's great. So if everyone's agrees on this, I'll create an action item to directly proceed with this. I'll create the issue. The issue is there. What I'm going to do is just update that we love the idea and wait for 1 week or so if someone wants to pick this topic at this pull request or idea, and if not, maybe I'll do it myself if that's okay for everyone.
Just
once
one.
go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, just I can create a pull request. I guess it's well. I mean, if you would prefer, if it's somebody from the JSON schema organization does it, it's also fine. I can. Yeah,
I can
mean,
provide.
somebody
Let's work
this
together
somehow, right? It's a bit weird.
Yes.
If some random person does it. I don't know. Like I need to check if there is some.
I need to check. I need to check too. Anyway, so if it's okay for you, we can just maybe work together on this because we will need to provide some logos or something. So I have access for those resources, and I can help you with that. So if that's okay, again, I'll check everything and let's do it together. So
sure,
cool, Greg.
So I do find it interesting that although more have the JSON dash schema, the spec itself has without the hyphen. Where if you go to the page for the without the dash, the spec itself is listed as the second one there.
It's listed as both, actually. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, there it is, both.
But I think a good follow-on task for, once we've got these curated and everything, I think a good follow-on task would be to reach out to the implementers to say, hey, we've curated these topics, go ahead and add one of them. We can tell them which one to your repos. I don't think I have mine. I don't think I have a topic on any of my repos. So I'll be doing that after the meeting.
By the way, the community repository uses both. So, yeah.
I need to review all our repositories to make sure that we have everything before reaching out to people. So yeah.
It seems a lot of them both.
I wonder if we can get whichever one we decide not to use, probably the unhyphenated version, to be replaced. I don't know whether they would support such a feature, but if we could just move people over and go, these things are the same, just use this one, please, and it would do that automatically, that would be really nice.
Yep, makes sense. When we reach out implementers, let's suggest the iPhone one, and after that, I'll try to take a look and maybe the main projects or the ones that are like the members are inside the community, send them a message. So I'll find a creative way to make the people move, at least some of the people. Yeah. Great. Any other comment before jumping to the next topic of the agenda? Cool. That was great. So yeah, I think that is going to work really well. So yeah, let's speak about this. I pronounce it wrongly all the time, but I'm doing my best. So how is the way to say ege or?
Ege, that's great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Next item. Let's start with the first. Is from me. I'm suggesting the creation of 3 email accounts for JSON Schema. I'm suggesting 3 names here, but we can choose others. One email for first contact or people that want information or just be a sponsor or any kind of information, let's say. I'm suggesting a hello, it can be info or something else. Another one for a newsletter, because I think that is the time to start thinking seriously in creating a newsletter. I have been sharing weekly updates in Slack, but that I'm putting some effort there on that, and it's not working like well, let's say. It's just updated. And the same effort with a newsletter infrastructure, I think that is going to have much more impact. So yeah, newsletter. And finally, another email for code of conduct report violations. Thoughts?
I think one brought up a good point in the chat is that we don't actually have an email provider already. So that would be, I think, the first step to figure out.
Does OpenJS provide one? Because at least from what I know, actually in both on Node and Electron, which are OpenJS projects, I think they both have their own like Google Business account or whatever, it is called. But I actually think that OpenJS is covering it for them.
I
Though
think
I'm
that's
not
not.
100% sure.
Yeah, I think
Really
it's
an
not
option for us
unless.
anymore.
Yeah, I think it's not until a product is fully onboarded and graduated. And
Right.
we're not on that
Okay.
track at the moment.
Because you would have to pay for this, right? I mean, unless you get any provider to actually give it for free, then these funds will probably come from the Open Collective or something like that. I'm not sure how we even thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would have to come from the Open Collective. At this point in time, I don't think we have enough stuff that we want to have a full-blown Google Orgs account, because that's even more expensive. If we're just looking for a few simple emails, then we don't really need that level of complexity, unless anybody can think of a valid reason.
Actually, I pay $6 a month for that service, so it's really not expensive.
Yeah, that'll be for like yeah, I don't know if they have different levels of it now. Yeah, it's definitely something we can look into them.
Or maybe just email redirections, no email mailboxes. Like just redirections can be fine also, maybe. Oh, no.
But you
Yeah, I
still
mean, we
need
can
something to ingest the email and redirect, right?
Yeah.
we can get redirections through Cloudflare. That is something they offer, but we just can't get the full accounts, which I think is probably something we would want for these sorts of things.
Okay. Jason, if you are using one provider, can you share with me later the name so I can create an issue for this and start gathering feedback or other options from the community so we can continue the discussion, maybe?
Sure. Yeah, it's just the standard Google thing. But yeah, I'll
Okay.
send you.
I think as far as naming, I think info instead of hello is probably more
Yep.
common.
Yeah.
I mean, hello is
Totally.
fine. I just think info is probably what people go to. What do you think people are going to be reporting? What's the purpose of that email?
Is when you see a conduct violation, or you are
Okay.
you want to raise a conduct concern, you need a mailbox or for that. I mean, a mailbox or a channel, but what we have in our code of conduct and the enforcement document is an email box. Actually, it's an email box that is not with the same domain that we have. Is from one of pointing to JSON Schema .dev or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like issues with the spec, and that didn't make sense because we have GitHub.
I mean, if we create a mailboxes and we start using those, why not? But for this case, it's just code of conduct stuff.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll create the issue and add those providers and the price, so we can just make an estimation and add it to our budget and proceed. Okay. Next item of the agenda, again, is from my side. I'm going to be working. I have been working for 2 weeks, but I'm going to be working for much more weeks in one item of the roadmap that is refining the contributor journey. This is the main issue for this, and basically I'm starting identifying all the possible sponsors, contributor journey, and with contributor journey, I mean companies that want to be sponsors, website development, documentation, adopters, case studies, blog post, people that want to be part of the community management efforts, spec development, both sides, the suite. I mean, all the possible options, right? And one of the, considering that I'm just 11 months in the project, and we have a very diverse ecosystem, I created one issue, that is this one, to just make a quick assessment of our current list of repositories and check what is the contribution status and the contribution needs. Because, I mean, in the website, I have been working for the last months of this, so I know that the repository is active and we are looking for front-end contributors, case studies, blog posts, and maybe some design. But I love to get thoughts by everyone regarding the other repositories. For example, the JSON schema vocabularies or JSON schema linting, JSON schema, hyper schema spec, vocab database, all those. So I know that everybody, all of you know what is the status, but I mean, if we have this written down here, it's going to help me to continue with the full picture and work on the suggesting changes that can help all those repositories, if that makes sense. I know that some of those are outdated, so I can take this opportunity to also refine the README document, the contributing guidelines, etc. Basically, what I need is if you know that you are involved in one of those repositories, or maybe you are the main point of contact, edit this issue and put your name here in the point of contact field, the contribution status and the contribution needs. So yeah, I can have all that information and have a better strategy for refining the contribution stuff. I hope is the purpose of the issue clear and makes sense. Any comment? If not, just take your time during the week or next week and give me a hand adding the information here.
Can you drop a link to that issue in the Slack?
Yep.
Or in the chat, I mean. Slack's fine too. Thank you.
No problem. Some, I mean, things about JSON schema, all of you knows that we have some projects that are not in our JSON GitHub organization, like Boti. So Boti is here. If I'm missing any other project that is not in the list, just let me know. Because, I mean, we can add more here. If, as far as I know, we don't have more projects part of the strategy outside the GitHub org, but if you know about one, just add it here. Any comment before going to the next topic? Thanks. Okay, to stop listening hearing my voice for a minute instead of just continuing with another topic from my side. Let's jump to the last one from Juan, transferring funding from learnjsonschema.com. Juan, all yours.
Yeah, I can talk more about that. So this all came from a thread that I was having with both Bens, right? And I think we came up with a very interesting idea. So the thing is that, as you guys know, so I've been like kind of managing that learnjsonschema.com website, and I've recently started adding examples, mainly with not just from Julian on the repo. Julian has been opening lots of issues and stuff like that. So he kind of inspired me to make a bit more work in there. The thing is, I'm also working on a million other things, right? Which means I don't truly have the time to, for example, go and add examples for every keyword and start, tackling some of the issues, for example, that we have in the repo that both some external people and Julian have added. So then we came up with a nice idea. So Ron and I, who we've been working on the O'Reilly book a lot. So what we've been considering is essentially getting somebody on board to help us do like improve the documentation side and provide something like a grant, a small grant for somebody, say from the community, to just go and do a lot of this work. So I started discussing this with Ben and Benja. And one of the cool ideas that we got, that I guess we want to echo back with you and see how everybody feels, is that Benja suggested, why don't we make the grant under the name of JSON Schema, right? So, JSON Schema itself, for example, would issue a grant for somebody for sponsoring somebody in the community to work on something like this. And then, to help make the case a bit better, this might be a good forcing function to also transfer the website for ownership, into the JSON Schema organization. And then the other side of that is that, so that website is receiving quite a lot of visits. We are promoting the book, the O'Reilly book in there. We are receiving lots of referrals into the book. So then that made us think about, it might actually be also a forcing function to start thinking more of a like a sponsoring structure within the org, like as like many other projects do. Whereas, if you donate certain amount or something like that, and you're considered, I don't know, like a gold sponsor, whatever tier these projects make up, then you have the right, to put like the company logo on like the website, or like a link to stuff, to promote something like that. So that would also be an interesting thing, for us to like move the Learn JSON Schema website, but maybe as we qualify as a sponsor, so we can keep, like the link to the book and stuff like that. I don't know, Benz, if you wanna, any of you guys, if you wanna add anything, if I miss anything important from the thread.
I mean, I think that you did a great explanation about what we discussed. I didn't add this information to the thread that we have together, but I'm prioritizing the making a proposal of a sponsorship strategy. Let's say I have the past Friday I was checking the Open Collective profiles with more funds collected in open source. And I got really good ideas on how to prepare a proposal. So hopefully I will create something for tomorrow. So this is one. So this idea is helped to accelerate the something that we have in the backlog for very long. So yeah, I'm working on that. And the thing is, see what is the option can satisfy everyone the best way. Something that is interesting to me is creating like contribution program or mentoring program or something. Is different because in mentoring we are looking for students or people with not too much experience. And his contribution program is maybe different. So we are looking for someone that is like a professional engineer that is just looking for additional funding. So we can discuss what is the best way. But for me, having those programs is really important. mostly looking into how successful the Google Summer of Code participation was. So that was great for both sides.
How much does
This is
Google
my
Summer
first
of
thing.
Code pay their students, by the way, nowadays? Do you remember from last iterations?
Yes, it depends of the country. They have some way to
Okay.
calculate what is the payment depending on what is your where you live, because I mean, because it's not the same
Yeah,
like
sure.
4,000 in Africa, so 4,000 in Brazil, but it should be like 2K or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I need to check 2K or 4K. I don't remember.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's good. I mean,
I'm
it's
not
a
sure.
way of creating our own little, Google Summer of Code for JSON Schema, and hopefully, we can get more people to also do grants and other projects. As you said, Benja, even for example, Bowtie, that might also be fun. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, because it also has like side effects, positive side effects around. For example, people that apply it to be selected as mentee, but unfortunately we only have 2 slots, right? So we needed to reject like very good candidates. But after announcing the winners, I tried to convince people to stay around and contribute. And one of those persons is the people is one person that is like contributing a lot of docs for the last months. So that is great. This is one of the things. Another thing is if we have like people contributing often to the project, other people that is like dormant contributors like start active being active again. So the effect is really great. So yeah. The only thing is I try to look into the other side. What is the sponsorship strategy that can fit this idea? I'll make a proposal and we can just continue from there, because this is like not exact is not don't fit directly in one of those standard buckets. Like if you are going to be a gold sponsor, you have your logo in the landing page, or you have an announcement in social media, you have this or that. So we need to check how we can make this like go through this strategy or not. So I have some ideas and I'll try to put together in that
yeah. I mean, it
proposal.
doesn't need to be like in the docs, right? I guess like Ron and I were commenting the idea of having, for example, the book, the link to the book and stuff like that on the docs, just because we made the Learn JSON Schema website in the first place. But I guess whatever structure the JSON schema, and I think it's a very healthy thing, for our projects like these ones, to start collecting some money and promoting, some like JSON schema partners in some way. I'm sure you can figure out, some way, Benja, in some place, right?
Yeah. But definitely learn JSON schema is cool and the people just need a lot. So if we can find a way to integrate it, that would be amazing. Yeah. And of course, having the program and someone being paid for contributing. I mean, music for my ears. Other opinions about this topic? At least everybody agrees in that it sounds good. So we can continue both with the preparing this sponsors and the strategy enhancement, and the how to make that the one idea fit into that strategy and open collective, and have a kind of program or something to promote it in the community. Everybody agree on continue the discussion? Great. Are we okay to jump to the next topic? Thank you, by the way, Juan, for your generosity and a great idea. Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, anytime. Well, thank you guys for helping a lot with the book, for sure.
Cool. I'm going to share my screen again. And the pending topic is again returning to the deprecation of the idea of deprecating JSON-schema.org/schema, that redirection to the current version of the spec. We discussed that this is like is not predictable. It can work differently for many people depending on the version of the spec they are using. I mean, we have all the notes in the previous Open Community Wiki meeting. But today I have been working in a deprecation plan, so I can very quickly I'm going to stop sharing to share what I'm working for this. It's not committed because it's still a live version. If I can find a way to make this bigger. Anyway, so I'm working in a standard approach to have documented what is the deprecation plan if we need to deprecate something in the future. And when I was writing that, I'm not going to share it because, anyways, I'm not going to share it. It's not ready. But I think that is going to be positive having an ADR or a documented decision in somewhere to make sure that the people can access what we discuss, what is the reason, and we have like enough information to make better communications where we are going to communicate the deprecation plan to the community and the users. That makes sense?
I think an ADR is a good idea.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
I think it's. So go on.
sorry, Ben. No, Ben, go ahead.
I think it's one of those things where we probably won't hear people complain about it until after the fact. But at least we can then, point to somewhere and say, hey, we didn't make a rash decision. We did this in, a reasonable way, and we attempted to reach out to people, and we had a phased plan, and this is why we made this decision. So yeah, I think an ADR makes sense.
I think also this ties back, by the way, to what you, Benja, were saying about creating a newsletter, because I think people are very likely to like find the ADRs, and there's no like way to watch, a GitHub project for ADRs, right? Like whatever that means. But if there is a newsletter that people can subscribe to, where you can say, okay, like here you're gonna receive it, potentially very important updates, that would probably have solved the problem in a different way, right?
We have the blog as well, but I don't know if this is
This is
for that.
in the deprecation. I mean, it's not my whole idea. I just looked for the best examples out there, and I found a couple that outlining a very good plan. And basically, it starts with a documented decision that is the ADR. And after that is like starting a step-by-step plan to make sure that we have a blog ready. So as soon as we publish this in social media, the people can go and check in the blog what was the decision with a link to the ADR, what is the impact, what changes are needed, and what is the timeline. So everything is ready in the blog. And also we have different moments of time when we are communicating, starting in Slack with the community, and later in social media, and with an announcement 1 month before the deprecation, and 2 new messages, one week before the deprecation, and another message 1 day before the deprecation. And everything is going to be in this document, so we can have just follow the plan for the future if we have similar situations. So yeah. And the EDR is one of the key elements, and a blog post is another key element for this. And the newsletter, that, as Juan said, is like just the magic sauce. So yeah, sounds good. Okay, so if we think that is a good idea, the next step is volunteers for writing the EDR. Any volunteer in the house, in the meeting? you don't need to reply today, but if someone's like have a great inspiration for writing the DR, don't be shy and just take it for you. If not, maybe finally I will be ending writing an ADR at some point of my life. So, but hopefully not this time. Any other comment regarding the ADR and the deprecation stuff? So we are done with the agenda. Any other comment before closing today's meeting?
On the identifying the repositories, you have contribution status. What are your, do you have a set of statuses that you're going off of, or
Just
just
you can
whatever
be
we
creative. You can be creative with that.
Sounds good.
I mean, if the list is not, the list is small, is like 12 or something. So you
Yeah.
can just put what is in your mind the current status, so I can just get an understanding. Everyone can get an understanding, and if there is a contribution need, maybe I can just catch up with you or continue the discussion in the same issue. Okay. No more comments? Again, I like to apologize for not being on time. In the other time zone change happened again to me, so I promise to be ready for the next one. Thank you for making the time. It was a great meeting. We have two new people joining. This is always amazing. And let's continue working on Slack and GitHub. Have a great rest of the day and see you. It was great to see you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.